work somewhere where no one knew what was going on?
Every day.
Welcome to the motherboard chaos. Anywhere else?
None that spring to mind. I've worked in corporates a lot, so it's been very smooth sailing in terms of processes.
So would you say chaos happens for any small business then?
I think chaos happens more in small businesses than in corporates because, like, a bigger company's had time to sort out their processes. They've got everything down pat. They know how everything works. I have worked in companies that I think the processes were okay, but I think the communication wasn't great, which is a completely different thing.
So in places where it worked well and communication wasn't a problem, what was it specifically about the communication that made it work well? Like, how did the communication come across? Was it regular emails? Was it updates on Slack? Was it automated? Was it manual? Was it a specific person? Like, what was the thing that made it feel like it's organized?
I think there's a lot of ways that you can do it. I think emails depends on how many internal emails are being sent. I know ourselves internally, we have our newsletter that is read by everybody, so we can get stuff across really easily, although we are still a small business. But I also think like monthly all hands or roundtables or whatever people want to call them, having those regularly on updates that people care about, and like from executive leadership to keep people in the know. If people are there, they can't delete the email. So I think it's the information is spread more easily by doing it that way.
So, talking about keeping people in the know, welcome to the first Motherboard podcast. Well, we'll start with you, Rob. Just tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do for hobbies.
My name is Rob. I've pet 2 llamas in my life, and I work at Mutherboard. I was one of the co-founders, and it's the best job I've had to date. Close second to selling makeovers in the street in London.
Very different. Well, now you sell digital makeovers.
Correct. Yeah, that's me. I, at the moment, am enjoying sorting our house out that we've just moved into. Like every step is a step closer to it getting resolved. I enjoy fishing. I like, well, I don't, well, I like going on golf tour. I'm not so much a big golfer. Um, and yeah, that's me.
And what do you do at Motherboard?
Just a general dog's body. I I deal a lot with our partnerships and looking out for new partnerships, assessing like stuff that's in the market. I'm also very recently taken a much stronger focus on internal systems. I have been doing it in the past, but it's just been so busy, I haven't had the opportunity to. So I am now diving into that. We're going to be very soon, which I'm quite excited about. I'm also ultimately responsible for projects being delivered on time, and I am on a mission to sort that out using our internal systems to better track and manage these sorts of things so we become even more effective and efficient in managing the projects we deliver for our clients.
I'm Tanya. I am the MD at Motherboard, and what that basically means is I deal with all the stuff that no one else wants to deal with. Lots of my time is spent dealing with problem solving, chaos, taming the chaos, and figuring out why the chaos exists, and who do I make it, whose job is it to fix the chaos? Because I don't have time to fix the chaos, but
Undoubtedly mine.
the chaos just filters down into my inbox all the time, which has been fun.
Yes.
I am also responsible for working on our large commercial deals, of which we've had some very good ones in Q1, a record Q1 for Motherboard, which is very unlike Motherboard. We're very lastminute.com. So it's been a nice breath of fresh air to, in the chaos, we also managing to continuously achieve new highs.
You say the lastminute.com, and that has been our modus operandi. But what I think is amazing is that we always do get it done. Even if it is last minute, it always gets done, which I think is testament to the people that we have in our business and the desire that they have to not only succeed personally, but see the business succeed. So
Yes.
all hands on deck a lot of the time, lastminute.com.
Always.
But it
Always.
happens
It
every
happens.
time.
It's getting less lastminute.com. We are I feel like this year we are way more focused than what we've been in the past.
Do you think or feel that, rightly or wrongly, we are slowly edging towards becoming more corporate?
I don't think so. I think we are very intentional about not becoming corporate, not being clock watchers, not defining how people work, when they work,
Yeah.
where they work. I think our business by design is trying to avoid that. I don't think we're becoming corporate. I think our clients are getting bigger, which demands more rigorous processes and systems from us. And so, in that way, I think we're getting more structured and we're getting more proactive in terms of seeing things happen before they actually happen because we've had to walk the pathway of things going wrong and learning from that. However, I don't think that's corporate. I think we are starting to become a well-oiled machine and we're becoming more structured and focused rather than corporate. I don't think we
Yeah.
still got a small business feel, like it's very chilled.
Yes, I think our culture, touch wood, will never become super corporate. But I think our processes are becoming more corporate. Like we
But
have,
what defines a corporate process?
when there's a process for everything. I think what's going to be interesting is getting to the point where we don't put bureaucratic red tape in place.
Who in our business is the worst at following processes?
Me, 100%.
Both of us. And that's why I don't think we'll ever get to the corporate place because we like being innovative and we like coming up, showing up to work and go, I had this idea and I want to run with it. And I think we allow our staff to be that way as well. And we certainly encourage it. And I don't think we will let processes kill innovation and creativity because that's ultimately, if you think about part of our recruitment process, the type of people we hire, creativity and problem solving are the two things that is like critical in our business, that we look out for. So I think processes kill creativity, and I don't think that is currently. I think there's certain things that we have to follow. Like there's certain rules that we have to tick the boxes for.
What do you think makes a new process successful within a business? Like if you will come in and you're like, I've had this great idea, we're going to give it a go, we're going to implement this. How does it happen, and how is it rolled out to be a successful new process?
I think, I think it's similar to an implementation project. It's simple and clear. Does it solve the problem? Do people understand it? Does it make sense? Because then people will buy in it and it will almost become second nature to go, yeah, of course, I'm going to follow this process because I understand exactly how it works and why we're doing it this way. And it's easy to follow. Like it's not convoluted and
Yes.
hop, skip, and a jump.
I think as well is communication. I've noticed, because we're going through this process at the moment of implementing a lot of new processes and refining what we're doing, there's at times a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and everyone is trying to move the needle to make a change and do better and improve not only their situation, but the business and the processes. But everyone running like headless chickens just leads to disaster, because then people have been told three different things by three different people. I think open communication, bringing everyone together who's involved, obviously all the stakeholders, and just having communication and check-ins on that process and how it's going. I think that in my mind is one of the key things.
And a single owner. One single person that's ultimately responsible,
Yes.
that has the last say on yes or no. They don't have to go and do and build all the processes, but they should be the ones that knows everything that's happening and can see if there's conflicting priorities.
Like our new onboarding process, where we had multiple people, again, also pulling in different directions, but it was a case of too many cooks, it was moving too slowly. So jumped in and just owned it and sorted it. And our first new starter ever started today and is going through our new onboarding, which I'm excited to see the outcomes of.
It's very exciting. Talking about too many cooks. I don't like cooking. It's one of the things I don't like doing. But I like eating good food.
I like cooking
Yes, thank you for cooking.
because I like eating good food.
Drinking wine is my speciality. That's my.
Where is our wine? These are the real questions.
I'm not drinking at the moment, but once I am back drinking, I will definitely have some delicious wine. The onboarding is a good example of like a process that you jumped in, you fixed, and now it's live. What was the defining moment when you realized that it's broken and that it needs to change?
Um, it's something I've been speaking about for well over a year, but back then we were still small, and onboarding a person was a lot easier. We weren't as busy, so it wasn't a big headache. I think now that we've gone through that sort of hyper, I won't call it hyper, but we have grown significantly. What are we, like, from 8 to
27?
or so people in 8 months, 6 to 8 months, like that super highlighted the need for proper onboarding, because we had all these new people coming through the door and they're like, I don't know where anything is. I don't know how to do stuff, and stuff that we just take for granted that we know. I know how to do this. Cool. As then you just assume everyone else would or does, is obviously not the case. And then you spend time, the manager spends time individually upskilling people, and it just sucks time and they don't know how to do it. So they like, it's just not cool. And I think that's highlighted a big need. And I think the other side of it was, I think the defining moment was the clients getting upset. Having someone on a project who has the skills, but doesn't know the process properly and hasn't been onboarded correctly. And clients coming and saying, like, I'm not happy, like, with this implementation. Person's great, but we're having issues, whatever. There's a number of different things, but that was like a big one, because our clients are our lifeblood and we need to deliver for them. And not having been onboarded properly leads to much bigger problems down the line. So there wasn't like a specific minute in time, but this process and stage
Couple
that
of
we've gone
things.
through has,
Unhappy clients was ultimately the trigger to put a plan in place to fix it.
yes, I'd say so.
Okay. Now, damn it, let's talk. That's our podcast. So, what can people expect from our podcast? Real stories, messy workflows. I think what we've just spoken about highlights the fact that we live in the chaos. We are a growing business. We face the pains. We have broken workflows. And we're in a fortunate position to be able to feel the pain. So when we talk to our clients who also has these pains, it resonates with us. Like we can empathize with them because we are living in it every day, and we have to walk the walk when we help clients fix their messy workflows. We know what the pain is by having the messy workflows. So it's real stories, no corporate fluff, just real stories of what we're experiencing on a day to day with messy workflows and how we try to navigate our way through that.
Yeah, I think I think exactly that. And they say that the mechanic has the worst performing car.
A mechanic's car is always broken.
A mechanic's car is always broken. And I think a lot of our success has been because we have walked that path as a small business. Like we've done it. We've gone through that process. And yes, like everyone, we've made mistakes, but we've navigated our way through a lot of the stuff. And I think that a mechanic's car is always broken. I wouldn't say it resonates as true, but there are a lot of things that are not as well oiled as they should be. And I think that's in every business. But I think what makes us really, I wouldn't say unique, but really uh,
You can say unique.
really, no, it's not, we're not really unique, but what makes us really successful is that we don't rest on our laurels. We don't go like, well, we've reached this size, so just carry on as is. Like I hear stories about um, other companies from people we know and stuff, and like the way that they operate, and there's no desire or drive to fix it. It's just do better, faster, and it's like it doesn't matter. Work 24 hours a day, like work on weekends. Like they don't have that ability to sit and go, how do I actually make this better? And I think we are really good at throughout this process having pivoted and changed our processes so many times, depending on where we were in that journey.
And would you say we do it really fast?
In comparison to other companies, very much so.
And would you say that is because we are fast to make decisions?
Yes, 100%. And then I also think the systems that we have in place, like the actual tools that we use on a daily basis, allow us to make those changes really quickly.
So what tools do we use on a daily basis?
Monday.com, that's a big one. Like we want to change our process for project management. It's a day, 2 days worth of work, as opposed to waiting months, 6 months for someone to put it into a queue to update stuff and customize. So yeah, um, well, we use Monday.com, use Slack a lot, um, email. I hate email.
But that's mostly for customer communications.
Yeah, fine.
Internal, we don't email each other internally whatsoever.
And I think critically important to all of it is our virtual office Gather. That's without our virtual office in Gather, like I don't even think we would exist as a business.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Exactly.
Gather has open doors. We are a fully remote team and we feel like we have an office. We don't feel remote. We saw people, we met some people for the first time a couple of weeks ago when we had our company retreat. And it didn't feel weird. It was like, well, I see you like this every day. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very interesting. It didn't feel weird at all.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, I just, yeah, I don't think we could, I don't think we could.
No, Gather has been instrumental in helping us grow successfully and keeping open lines of communication, fast resolutions,
Yes.
speed.
And the added bonus of keeping our employees happy and being able to drive culture in a really meaningful way. Because being fully remote, like you could go days without speaking to people.
I've been there.
Gather just you to try and avoid people in Gather. Like you will be talking to someone almost all the time. Like it's, and I think everyone, all the employees, at least all the ones that I've spoken to recently, feel like they go to an office. Like it's yeah.
And we don't even have to ask people to log in together. They just always are on Gather. It's like a go-to. I log on to Gather. It's the first thing that I open. I think there's some people who's bought an additional screen just to have Gather because they like seeing sometimes the chaos that happens in the office.
I want to be one of those people. I want to have an extra monitor just for Gather.
So really today is all about broken systems. And the whole premise behind Motherboard was because we identified a broken system. I was working in data consulting. I was delivering insights to customers, analyzing the data, giving them really great insights in terms of how to get more customers, how to retain your current customers, how to grow your business, all rooted in data. And I would give it to them and they would do nothing with it because they go, oh, this is amazing, but no one is being held accountable. There's no plan being created of how we're going to actually go and implement this change in our business. So there's so many people who's paying thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds to get consultants into their business to tell them where the opportunities are, and that's where it stops. It ends with a slideshow or a PDF report in someone's inbox or on a SharePoint drive. Nothing ever happens. And I think we noticed this. Well, I certainly noticed this as a data analyst. And then on the flip side, working in the same office, and you were working on Monday.com implementations, I heard you solve this problem. Like building systems that holds people accountable. There's a person column, add the person to the column, they get notified if it doesn't get done. Mark it as done. It's something so simple, but actually taking action is the hardest thing for people to do. So this is how Motherboard came about. And so a broken system is ultimately how it all started. And now our business is all about helping people fix broken systems. And that is what we've spoken about today. So one broken system that most companies have, I would say 90% of companies face this.
Resourcing.
Well, before resourcing, I think a higher theme is, I think resourcing is a complex problem to solve. But one thing that we know every single business is struggling with is having a single source of truth. Because we use so many different tools and technology to run our business, and it's needed. Like, as much as we only want one system, even in our own business, money.com we use for 90% of our work, but we still need free agent for our finance. We still need Slack for project updates. There's still other systems that we need in our ecosystem of software to run our business. But the luxury we have is we use something like make.com that gets all of these to speak together and communicate with each other and sync data between each other. And I think this is where a lot of businesses struggle to see the bigger picture or to take action, is because they're looking at everything in siloed buckets. Marketing only looks at what marketing is doing. Sales only look at what sales is doing. Finance looks at the numbers. When marketing reports what sales their activities have driven, sales report what sales they have closed for the month, and finance looks at what is coming into the books. Often, those three things don't match up at all because they all disconnected from each other. And then you sit in a boardroom and people are talking about data insights and they're arguing about the numbers instead of putting plans in action to fix the leaking sales funnel.
I have a good example of that at one of the corporates that I worked at in my previous life. The KPIs between the marketing and the sales team were completely out of whack.
Disconnect.
And it's that silo approach of, as a marketing team, this is what success looks like. And it's generate leads.
Yeah.
And then on the sales side, the sales team, they receive these leads, but their KPI is to hit revenue targets, we need to close and this against budgets or against your quota or whatever. So marketing would send 100,000 leads and the sales team would phone them and not hit their number because all the leads were rubbish. But the marketing team was drinking champagne and having the best time of their life. But there was a complete disconnect. And I would have that conversation with whoever wanted to listen, is we need to align on KPIs and targets between departments. And that is impossible to do if you are not singing off the same song sheet. You have to have that single source of truth so you can get your head around where can we actually make real change in the business to move the needle and get where we want to go.
Something else that I actually, when I have scoping calls with clients and they tell me this, and sometimes these are companies where there's like over 100 employees. Now in my book, we are not even at 30 yet, and we are also like we are actively embedding new processes and systems, and like Excel doesn't exist in our world.
No,
No one uses Excel in our company.
I think Abanda does, but yes.
Finance, you have to do one-off calculations. You're not going to build a Monday board to do that.
No.
But like that's not just something that we do. Everything happens on Monday. Our executive assistant, she creates Monday boards to track our emails and our calendars. Like she's created her whole own ecosystem of a workspace where she runs our everything for us in our own workspace, and she's just gone and created it. No one has trained her on Monday. She just has taught herself how to do it. So it's really easy to use. So I think that helps. But the point is that when I speak to customers where there are more than 100 employees, sometimes more than 300 employees, the amount of like different tools and Excel spreadsheets that they're using and then copying and pasting things between systems blows my mind. One specific customer had a timeline in Miro. They would then go and manually create that in Excel, and they would go and create the tasks and activities on a Trello board. And then when something has to change, they will go back and update the Miro board plan and then update the Excel and then update the Trello. And the amount of time they were spending, because Miro was giving them the visual of the timeline plan. Excel was obviously like they were able to put in dates and some information, and then Trello is actually where they performed the task. So they were using 3 different tools for one purpose, whereas, I mean, in Monday, that's super easy. You do it all in one. But my mind was blown thinking how fast this company has grown, how well they are doing, but yet they are running everything on these disconnected systems. And well, they had significant financial loss because guess what? Someone forgot to update the Excel sheet, not for this specific use case, but for like a product order. They lost hundreds of thousands of pounds because someone forgot to update the sheet. So just copy paste. I know that's like a general joke in technology where we say copy pasters. But this is something that exists in multiple companies on a daily basis.
The question is, who has time for that? Like, there is a better way to live. Like, no one should be copy pasting data. No one should be spending that amount of time. Like, from a productivity perspective, it's just an absolute killer. And it's just also not just productivity because I'm wasting time. It's just soul destroying.
So, I mean, there's data to prove this, or I can go find a stat. But a recent productivity report has come out to show that the UK actually has a massive problem with productivity.
Yeah, because there's no Wi-Fi on the trains.
Well, no Wi-Fi on the trains is definitely something we often complain about. Some trains are better than others, but in most cases, yeah, it's very frustrating when you have 3 hours on the train going to a customer on site and it's like you can't do anything. It's very frustrating. However, I think the other thing as well is, I think some things that we run into and why I can see this being a problem, like that exact example that I've mentioned, is people are scared of change. It's really hard to change. And so we're doing it, it works now. But they don't look at the upside of like, well, what if it could work better? Yeah, it's working now for you. You don't have to change it. But what if it could work better? What do you gain from it, from working better? Is the one thing. And the other thing is also people are very risk averse. And I think because we are so scared, like if we change, what is the risk tied to it? That people focus too much on that instead of looking at how much can we gain from making this change. I think that has a massive impact on this productivity number is what if we are brave enough to just try? What's the worst that can happen? We already have something that works. It's not the best, but it works. And so if we try something to see if we can get something better out of it, the worst we can do is be the same. And at least then we've tried.
I mentioned it earlier, like we have, like through our growth journey, we have changed our processes. I don't even know.
A lot of times.
And the way that we go to market, we do business, like there's so much that has changed during that journey. But do you think that using Monday.com has helped with enabling that change?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Without Monday, like imagine having to go find something in an Excel workbook. There's no, like, I just think about finding proposals on Canva and trying to find the proposal I sent to a customer that's on Canva. Even that is problematic because I forgot to rename it or whatever. Like file naming conventions is something simple. Monday.com, your file doesn't change. Your board is named finance, salaries, payroll. Like I know where to go. My boards I look at every day is favorited. I can search globally in Monday, statement of work for this customer. It's, uh, if it's not on Monday, I cannot find it.
Yes. But I also think that it's because it's so flexible. I mean, we literally run wall to wall on Monday. Every department is on Monday, from HR, finance, sales, project,
Recruitment,
all of
onboarding now.
everything. Now, because of that flexibility between departments, changing a process is, if we have the idea, we can do it. And like you say, we can revert back.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge overhaul. We have to invest in new software if we want to do it this way. We want to change one thing, we have to pay developers to come and redevelop or update and change. Like it's obviously it's easy for us because we know Monday so well, but that time to change is massively reduced. And I think it's also taken a lot of that fear that we probably would have if we didn't have something like Monday, where it would be like, okay, we need to make this change, and that means we need to invest in X software,
Yeah.
which is going to cost us. And there have been times when we've seen software and we're like, that would be cool, and then we see the price tag and we're like, not gonna happen.
We'll just deliver it up on Monday.
Yeah. So I think that's really helped enable that. And I think now, as we mature, and getting back to your points and originally, now that we are doing more and more integrations ourselves into Monday with other systems, like it's just like power-ups. It's like the super boost of Monday.com is bringing in all these other systems, all these other triggers, allowing us to do things that Monday maybe isn't so great at in other systems, but then also using Monday as like our database where we can pull data from all other things and then report on it and do all of those sorts of things.
I think the other thing that makes Monday great is if you are changing a process, and like us who are changing it rapidly, You're not teaching someone in your organization a new process and a new way of working. You just, Monday guides that person through the new process anyways. It's so easy. The automations does the work for me. If I think about our sales CRM, the amount of times we have changed our CRM, but yet it's very easy. It's now just like, okay, if you want to log a demo request, you don't have to go here. It's just remembering that I have been shown where to do it. But the other thing as well is that if you think about going in for humans, now learning a new technology and learning a new process at the same time. And inevitably, if you are buying a software that is not customizable, you are forced to work in the way that the system was built. If you're buying something that is fit for purpose, that's what you're doing. You're not, whereas Monday, you can define what that process looks like. And if it doesn't work, you can change it. Whereas a lot of other systems are just too rigid in the way that it's built. And so I have to change my ways of working because I'm getting 20% additional functionality. That's really cool. But now I have to go through change management and retrain my staff on how to use it and how we've changed the process and documentation and whole rigmarole. It's a massive time drain. Yeah, that's why I love Monday. Is that if you know how to use Monday, you know how to use Monday.
The UI and the UX remains the same.
Exactly.
It's just you need to click a different button now.
Or change the status to something else. Super simple. Yeah. Or open up the update section.
Yeah.
And log your demo request.
Every time.
Which I am obviously bad at doing. Let's talk about the damn concept.
It's International Beaver Day.
It is International Beaver Day. Well, that's very exciting. If you're watching this podcast, it's not International Beaver Day anymore, but you can still celebrate beavers.
At time of recording.
At time of recording, it was International Beaver Day.
Beaver Day.
Benny says hi. So, considering that our podcast is called Damn It, Let's Talk. Beavers lives in dams. International Beaver Day. What is the concept around the dam? How does it relate to what we do?
Well, if you think about a river, like meandering through the hillsides, you could think of that as data and how it moves through and within your organization. And
data could just be tasks that people are doing.
It could be anything. Could be, who's responsible for what? That's a data point. But if it's not kept confined and in a sort of semblance, then you can get leaks, you can get flooding happen. If it rains too much, which we've just gone through a lot of rain in our business with our growth, and having to deal with that and figure out processes, then flooding can happen. And I think the concept of the dam is bringing it all together. The beavers are super hardworking, they're super resourceful, they're also one of the most intelligent animals, so I've been told. And they build dams. They create structure around something that is structureless, water. And I think that is, in my mind, a good analogy, and why we have a beaver, or one of the reasons we have a beaver as a mascot. Benny.
That's it for episode 1, I reckon. We've spoken lots about broken workflows, about dams, about messy chaos, some examples. I think we've covered a good amount. So, what would you like people to do? What would you like people to take away from this episode today? If there's one thing people could take away from today, or one action that they could take, let's make it actionable.
I don't know if there's an action, but I think if there are things that you think like there must be a better way, there is a better way. And I'm not saying Monday.com. I'm not like there is a better way. And I think it's just taking the leap, having the conversations with whoever you need to have the conversations with, whether it's internally, externally. But there is a better way, and there's light at the end of the tunnel as soon as you choose to take action and move on that idea.
Yeah, that's my request after episode 1 is there's something broken in your organization right now. You know what it is because you're feeling the pain. You're lying awake at night thinking about it, or you're waking up stressing about it. Just write down one thing, one action that you're going to do this week to fix it, or to start moving the needle, or to hold someone accountable. Just one small thing to start working towards fixing the leak. So yeah, that is our podcast. If you like our rambling and our chaos that we've created, I guess click subscribe. I don't know.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Share with your mates.
Yes. Bing bong.
Share with someone that would find it interesting. And then who knows what episode 2 holds. I guess Kayla, our marketing manager, will tell us when that time comes.
Exciting times.
Thank you, Kayla.
Yes. Thank you, Kayla. Love my ring lights.
Over and out.